The finals of the Open the Nexus Tournament. We have a best of 3 today here on Khaldor TV with more Heroes of the Storm. It is ESC Gaming going up against the Russian Team Arthas. And this is going to be a highlight. The first map is Shire, and again we have ESC trying to get that control with the Zagara on the map. Whereas of course when we're talking about Arthas, we already know what's going to happen there. They love their Nuburak, they love heroes like Rhaegar, and they love their Blood for Bloods. And we're going to jump into the first game to try and find out who's going to take the lead in the best of 3 series in the final at the Open the Nexus Tournament. Game number 1 in the best of 3 series here at the final of the Open the Nexus Tournament. Team Arthas is going up against ESC Gaming, and this is a fun matchup. This is going to be pretty damn good, I think. I can't wait to see both of those teams going up against each other in the best of 3 series. And map number 2 is going to be Tomb of the Spider Queen. That should be exciting as well. To the left side it is ESC Gaming with Neps on Uther, Antihero on Chen, Inviduum on Sylvanas, Get Amhead on Jaina, and Snow with Zagara once again. To the right side, Sefka with Rhaegar for Team Arthas, the Russian team with Kunichan on Tyrael, Andy Lendi on Falstad, Unstable on Vala, and Stalk on Nuburak. Our first map is, oh wow, 5-man rotation up to the top. Usually you have 3 heroes at the bot lane. I guess that's what we're going to see after the attempt to burst somebody down here. They are trying to move in, and we see a very similar setup here for their opponents. Let's see who's going to take it there. Yeah, both of the teams are playing it they actually like just start to rotate through the map and try to get to their lanes as the creeps, of course, start to meet, and that's the experience that's up for grabs that they definitely want. Here comes that burst damage. I guess we're going to see Zagara, as Zagara's actually moving to the top lane right now, trying to push the top lane against Tyrael, which she should easily be able to do. And we're having Get Amhead, Inviduum, and Nepsa pushing the bottom lane with Sylvanas pressure up to the top here. Snow needs to be careful against Kunichan, but with the Bane links, the pressure against Tyrael is going to be quite significant. We're having, in terms of talents, Smite taken on level 1 for Tyrael, and on the side of Nuburak we have extended the spikes in this case. Zagara has been played a lot actually in the last few games here, and one of the main reasons is that the focus on her trait, her Creep Tumors, is starting to become bigger and bigger, so people can actually... Oh, Chen being taken out, look at that! Chen eliminated in the mid lane, that's bad. Get Amhead has to rotate to make sure that he's able to soak up the experience. But as I was just saying, Zagara is becoming more and more valuable to most of the teams just because the vision that she supplies to a team is great. And that's why we see normally on level 7 by now also the additional talent taken for the Creep Tumors. Endless Creep. And it is pretty strong actually, because you are very safe against your opponent's rotations on the map and against potential ganks. Down to the bottom lane we don't have that vision, and since we saw Jaina move into the mid lane to catch the experience, they had to fight a 2 versus 2 for quite some time here. Sylvanas of course wants to push in against that tower with her passive trait disabling them. That's one of the main ideas behind the hero, at least in this case. Having the pressure up to the top and capturing that first temple, or the first shrine with Snow, making sure that he can get also the creep spread up there, but Kunichan is doing a very good job preventing that, at least thus far. In the mid lane, we're having Get Amhead and Antihero starting to put the pressure on Unstable, with especially Andy Lendi on his faults. They're trying to jump in wherever he's needed. The problem for him is he's kind of needed everywhere right now, especially at the bot lane where the pressure is starting to really get insane. The stun and temper is stalked, not successful. Up to the top, Zagara is in trouble though, tries to get the counter pressure against Kunichan, doesn't get it. Zagara eliminated, and now they need to rotate again or they're going to lose out on experience. The bottom lane pressure, that's where they could go for the move, and well, at this point actually it looks a little bit tricky. Nepsa is probably going to be able to drop that tower with Inviduum and Get Amhead, but as I said, they lose experience to the top lane, and that's a very different story. All of a sudden it's nearly a level lead that we're seeing for Team Arthas. The Russian team is doing very well here. Andy Lendi thinking about moving back to get some mana into the game. Level 4 for both of the teams. Flow Rider has been chosen here. Lowers the cooldown of the barrel roll by another 40%. It's already much faster, the barrel roll in general, so that talent got a bit buffed in the last patch. Down goes the tower at the bot lane. That is still controlled by ESC Gaming, and you can see that up here Snow is having a huge problem getting those creep tumors into position and make sure that he's not getting ganked. So It's a bit tricky for him. Far side being used on Rhaegar. Oh, down here, Unstable and Stalk trying to go for... Wow, Unstable, he's gonna die to that. It looks like he will. He's actually trying to be back in time, but doesn't make that work. Very aggressive move by Envidum. I kind of like it, risking it, and was totally worth it, apparently. In the mid lane, we had pressure against Anti-Hero. A very aggressive style, once again, by Team Arthas. It's kind of what they're known for. Antilendi is taking over the experience at the bot lane, and Stalk has to retreat for now. Remove himself for the from the battlefield for a few seconds. Yeah, up here, I'm here with a Blizzard once, twice. Yeah, can move back. No problem here for him. Level 7 for both of the teams. The lead in experience that we saw earlier established by the Russian team is now negated thanks to the pressure at the bot lane where the structures were dying. We have now battle momentum taken. Both of the shrines are under the control of the German team. But as you can see here, Nepsa needs to be super careful since he's suddenly being attacked by 4 and he gets dropped. Doesn't survive there. Envidum has to move back now as well. He went for follow through on level 7 on his Sylvanas. We have the Endless Creep taken on Zagara, so that's going to help to just spread the creep a little bit more. But the problem for them still is that at the top lane, Tyrol is attempting to catch that shrine, or was, but so far Snow is starting to do a much better job thanks to the creep tumors. So finally getting some momentum going on this lane, and that was important. Kuni-chan is still actively trying to take down every single creep tumor in the game, but he's starting to struggle a bit against that, especially now that the level 7 talent for Zagara is going to help her out with it. Control the shrines, that's of course the objectives here, and they're trying to do it again. In the mid lane though, there we have Andilendi and Unstable, making sure that Anti-Hero is not going for the Dragon Knight. We're 5 minutes in, and so far all of those attempts have been denied, and Kuni-chan still pushing the creep back. He's doing that very well. They also were able to capture one of the Siege Giant camps with Sefkages starting to move in, and of course Rhaegar is an amazing hero when it comes down to his abilities to solo take down one of those camps. Snow with a 1 versus 1 at the top lane, but that means again that they're losing auto experience. 10 seconds on Zagara, nobody rotating up to the top, and it is going to bring the Russian team closer to level 10. I'm actually surprised that they don't burst down this wave to send their own wave right in there. Instead, he's just not attacking, so that the own creep wave is going to be decimated. That's an interesting move. I actually thought he would try to just burst this one down so that they could move in. But as you can see, all these creeps dying didn't give experience. So he goes for the different version of it. He says, okay, I'm not going to attack the creeps. I'm going to let the creep wave of my opponent kill mine. They're going to lose out on the experience, and then I have the entire creep wave closer to my own towers. I still have ammunition, so I can use that. That's what they're currently doing here. Level 10 now on the board with the Ancestral Healing, Judgment, Hinterland Blast. We're having the Locust Swarm on the side of Anubarak. Oftentimes we're seeing the Russian team instead going for Web Blast, but right now they apparently don't have the need to remove a single hero from those fights. Oftentimes with Illidan comms we're seeing them trying to remove the healer for a few seconds. Snow is getting body blocked here. Oh, that Maw gets him to safety. But to the top lane, Sylvanas dying, and the fight is still there. Mid lane, we have Anti-Hero holding experience and trying to protect the Dragon Knight. There's level 10 also ready for Team ESC Gaming. We already saw them all. Wall Elemental is chosen as well. We see a Divine Shield, and of course also the Wandering Keg next to the Wailing Arrow. But this is starting to become tricky for ESC. I have to say that they are doing a very decent job staying in the game. A lot of other teams would have already completely faltered here and just lost way too much of their experience and momentum, but ESC is keeping it together for now. They are pressured, you can tell. They are really pressured. They are in a very, very tricky position right now, but they're doing what they can. Kuni-chan at the top lane and Nepsa. Oh, there comes the rotation with Unstable moving in. Oh, the Divine Shield saving them for now. Get Head moving in. Hinterland Blast not hitting a thing. Envidum is still trying to go for it, and he jumps in with a Haunting Wave. Also, Water Elemental being used. Do they actually get away? It looks like it, doesn't it? Wow. Wow. All of them get away. Most of the heroic ability is already used, and Sylvanas is trying to do their damage together with the Water Elemental. They drop one of the towers. At the bot lane, it is Snow who's suddenly using all of that space that he has to finally get to work, and they got the Dragon Knight as well. So this really helped them. ESC Gaming pressuring every single lane right now. Snow has to move back, but I don't think that Kuni-chan is going to be able to take him down. Well, he's going to try though. The body block! Oh, and the stun from Andy Lendi, sorry, from Stork. That's at least enough for now. But 4 heroes at the bot lane, and that means that the top is completely neglected. In the mid lane, we're having anti-hero doing quite a lot of damage to that fort and the tower. He has to move back on the Dragon Knight though, but up here at the top, the entire wall is gone. The 13 talent is still going to hit faster for the Russian team. Going to see them with that talent a bit faster than their opponent. The bottom lane, that's where we're having Stork, and he's getting jumped already. Where's that stun? There it is, or at least the attempt. And that Blizzard, very well done here. Good moves from the side of ESC, but look at the heal! Wow, the Locust Swarm keeps them alive, and the heal is all they need. Divine Shield helping Gedam here to survive. Anti-hero barreling the opponents away, but the Russian team again. They go here on 13 for the Burning Rage. They already have the Healing Surge on Rhaegar. We're seeing them even with the Giant Killer on the side of Falstad, whereas, of course, with a multi-shot build that we've seen on Vala, she's going straight for that Frost Shot talent that is going to help them to keep control of those fights. Another Burning Rage talent also taken on Anubarak, not only on Tyrael, so both of these heroes trying to get the AoE damage in the fights. And this is a talent that especially the Russian team loves. They always take it on heroes that have it available to them. For the opponent, for ESC Gaming, we're seeing a Shrink Ray on Uther with a Relentless taken on Chen to make him even more tanky, to make sure that the stun combs that we are seeing for the opponent are not going to threaten them too much. Evasive Fire is the weapon of choice on Sylvanas. Mobility is everything on her. The improved Ice Block is going to keep Jaina alive a bit longer, and that's very important considering how much initiation we see on the side of Team Arthas, and the Hunter Killer talent there. So the stun lock is really something that is a big threat to ESC, with the ultimate on Vala going straight for the Rain of Vengeance, Judgment, the stuns on Stork. So this is really going to be tricky. They have so many squishies, especially of course Zagara, that just doesn't have an escape. Gedam Head can rely on the improved Ice Block, at least to a certain extent, but this is definitely not going to be an easy game for them. And right now we have a game where I think ESC is going to struggle for a long time. Here in the mid game, Arthas is better. Arthas is stronger. They have the better comfort. If they get those single target kills, it's all about the setup in the fight. With a good Wailing Arrow, Invidio might be able to influence the fight heavily, and that of course could be combined with a Maw as a setup. But the Dragon Knights here, they are under so much pressure, and the Russian team is still a level ahead, and they are just keeping that level advantage. And the one thing that's really important to point out as well is that one of the things that they didn't do yet is drop structures. So once that they really start to go up against the walls and really take down those towers, they will get even more experience on their side, and they are starting to do that. So that level 16 is going to become a very realistic scenario, and with that they would be able to just rely on the second talent to really make that happen. Once again, the rotations in the mid lane, 3-5 heroes versus 4. The bottom lane experience for Team Arthas, and that is going to help them to really take that lead there. They want to try and take down that Bruiser camp, and as you can see, 16 is going to be there any second, and that talent is going to be brutal. And why? Because what do they really love to do? They love to use blood for blood, and they have quite a few of those available to them. There it is already. 4 blood for blood and 1 hammer time taken, and this is brutal. Arthas loves to play that. They love to go for 3 to 4 blood for bloods on level 16 and drop a target once the fight starts. And this is also one of the reasons why they're running this with so many initiators. If they just get the lockdown for a second on a single hero, like, oh, nice cleanse, really well done, Nepsa, you god, wow, that was great. Yeah, Zagara would have been in trouble here, but that was an amazing move by Nepsa. He was waiting for that. He saw that coming. Here comes that setup with more into Wailing Arrow, but only silencing one. They're jumping in. They drop Zagara regardless. Those blood for bloods are no joke, and anti-hero is dying now as well. 16 versus 15. That extra talent is all that they needed. Blood for bloods everywhere, and now they're just moving into the mid lane and just saying like, oh well, look at that, there's another fort, let's take that thing down. But first of all, fly up and take the shrine so that we can go for another Dragon Knight. The kill against Sylvanas down here is of course gonna make matters only worse for ESC. Arthas is straight going for that fort, killing the fort, going also for the tower now. We're having in the mid lane the Dragon Knights starting to move in, and yeah, the rest of the team is just like being back right now and saying like, alright, we get mana first, we have more than a minute still available on the Dragon Knight, we can wait, we're gonna move back with mana, and then we're gonna go straight for that fight. The 16 talent is going to be ready. It is going to be ready. Should be any second actually. There it is. But is that really going to turn the tide of the battle? Benediction is going to help. There's no question about that. It's a great talent to have. When you get the opportunity to heal even more, that's great. We have only one blood for blood, and that's on Sylvanas. If she gets that in, then she can maybe like make up for a few of the hit points that she's going to lose here. Northern Exposure, also of course Stone Skin, which is an interesting talent for Zagara to take here, but I feel like she really needs it. She can't go for the second Hunter Killer talent, which you usually see on level 16 for her. Stone Skin instead it is to keep her alive a bit longer. Dragonite to the bot lane. 13 minutes in, it already does a significant amount of damage, and in the middle lane we have the rest of the team setting up. They try to force a fight. They're gonna go into a 5 versus 4. They ignore the Dragonite. They just say we have to win it right now. Let's go straight for that and try to kill at least one of them. Yeah, Rhaegar is nearly... Oh, they lose the fight actually. Wow, does the Wailing Arrow, is that going to be enough? Is he going to get it in? Oh, they heal against Stork. Oh god, they lose the 5 versus 4 fight, and the Dragonite is still doing work at the bot lane. This is bad news. Andilendi is nearly dead, but here comes Kuni-chan right now, and goodbye Gad. Gad with the Ice Block. I mean, he can save his ass for a bit longer, but that's it. They lose 2 heroes in that, and now it's level 19 versus 16. The Russians are gonna go full ham here. Go ham or go home, and, well, you can see for yourself what they decided to do. Initiation against Snow, the cleanse is there. I really love Nepsa's cleanses that he used in this game so far. Great moves by him. It saved his ally for a few seconds, but I don't think it's going to save him the game. The keep at the bot lane is already done. The Dragon Knight has done all the work there. In the mid lane keep, it's on half health. It's extremely low. And let's not forget about the level advantage that we're seeing for the Russian team here. They're nearly on level 20, and that additional talent is just going to make it insanely difficult, if not impossible, for ESC to come back into this game. This is not looking good for them, like not at all. I mean, they're trying, but right now... it's too much. 17 again. That's a 3-level lead. 11 kills against 2. That Zagara play on this map in particular just didn't work out for them. Not this time. A double hardened shield. This is going to make Tyrael and Anubarak nearly unkillable, especially with a storm shield on Rhaegar. This is making things so much worse. We should see... Oh no, look at that. We are having a right-click build with Nexus Frenzy on Falstead now, instead of the Call of the Wildhammer, which would have been the additional talent for the Hinterland Blast. They're going for the camps now as well, apparently just waiting for the next Dragonite. I think they could just force a fight with this big of a lead. Would have been an easy matter for them. Yeah, Stork is still there. He's waiting for the rest of his team. We also have Andilendi in position right now on his Falstead. Well, they're going to try and take the rest of the camps away from the opponent too. I wonder if they really go for the Dragonite or they just go for a fight with the camps that they have, and they could do both. I mean, they have enough here. And they're starting to move in. Up there to the top, there's Kuni-chan on his Tyrael, spreading them thin. Oh, the Zagara. Yeah, she gets away for now, but here comes the initiation, this time against Nepsa. More is already there, but the kill against Tyrael. This time they get the kill against Tyrael. Can they survive that fight? 20... level 20. Oh my god, they win another one. And still anti-hero alive. Level 20 versus 18, and they win the battle. They jump away. They don't lose a single hero. I can't believe it. ESC, they take down 2, and they still stop all of the waves here. They stop everything. The entire onslaught of their opponent is now completely squished. That was really well done. Not losing a keep, not losing a hero, killing 2 of the opponents, that was great, and it brings them very close to level 20. Well, of course, relatively speaking. I mean, level 18, nearly 19 right now, they could just dream of a situation like this a couple of seconds ago. Now they're trying to apply pressure to the top lane. If they are able to take a structure down or 2, they might be in a spot where they can save themselves to level 20 and then fight on even footing with their opponent once again. That might become a reality for them. Because so far they're struggling. Just look at those heal numbers. 51,000 healing on the side of Rhaegar, with another 9,000 on Tyrael, and 26,000 on the side of Uther. That's really not a whole lot. Yeah, we have those so far. I mean, at least talking about the shrines, we have like 1 shrine still in the hands of ESC Gaming, but of course that Dragonite is going to be taken in just a few seconds as Andilendi flies up to the top lane and captures this one. I don't think that anybody will be able to be at the dragon statue in time to deny that to Kuni-chan, and once he has that, he basically just has to right click. because the 20 talent isn't there. It's so close. It's so close, but they don't have it yet. And without that talent, it's unlikely that they're going to be able to win in a fight where the Dragon Knight is starting to do work for the Russian team too. Kuni-chan is going to start moving in here. He moves into range of the keep already. Down to the bot lane, we have the rest of the heroes starting to move in here, and they are starting to hunt Get. They wanna have one of them, and they're going straight for that. There comes another punt. They're going straight for the keep, by the way. The right click with the Dragon Knight. Yep, there's a bit of additional damage. They're trying to burst it down, going for the DPS here. Here comes the heal. They just right click the core, and they are going to win it. 50%, 40 initiations everywhere, stuns and crowd control, and this is game as the Russian team takes down ESC Gaming on map number 1 on Shire. With the next map being Tomb of the Spider Queen, of course.
Team Arthas, the Russians, they take it. Especially on level 16, they become so strong. If you have those 4 bloods on your team, you can just burst down any target, and that's what they did. They played a great match there. They take the lead in the best of 3 series against ESC Gaming, and it was really that struggle for ESC that we could see in the entire match. Every single time the double initiation with the Judgment on Turiel and also Nubarak himself was there. Once level 16 was hit, there was just so much burst damage that it was really difficult for ESC to engage in those fights and keep the heroes alive. They tried to adjust with a few of the talents that they took on their heroes, but it simply wasn't enough. Team Arthas, they take the first map, and now we're going into the second game, which is going to be on Tomb of the Spider Queen. A very, very interesting map, since especially ESC Gaming loves to play there. They like to play Zagara, and what they usually attempt to do is control the 2 turn-in points and make sure that the opponent never really gets that map control. But of course, the Russians are hyper-aggressive. We've seen that every single time that they play, and they will try to do exactly the same thing here. Game number 2, coming up right now at the Open the Nexus Tournament between Team Arthas and ESC Gaming.
Game 2 in the best of 3 series, ladies and gentlemen. ESC going up against Arthas once again. ESC Gaming currently down 1 game in the best of 3 series. This might be the last map of the day. Currently to the left side in blue here in Tomb of the Spider Queen, we have Nepse on Uther with great cleanses already in game number 1. Did not bring them to victory though. Antihero on ETC, Get Amhead on Tacita, Invidium on Vala, Snow playing Zagara. To the right side of the map, we are seeing Andilendi on Jaina for the Russian team, Kuni-chan on Tyrael, Stalk on Anubarak, Unstable on Falstad, and Sef Kaja on Rega. So far, we saw, especially with Zagara, ESC playing great games on this map. They are extremely strong on this map in particular. They were always able to just control both of the turning points with Zagara and her creep spread, and that was one of the main things that they were able to accomplish in several games that they played here. Just deny turn-ins to their opponent, really control the creep, make sure that they have good vision on all of the lanes, and yeah, this is of course what the Russians have to deal with, and they're trying that already. We have a right-click build on the side of Vala here, with once again going for Rancor as a level 1 talent. We are seeing also, in this case, a scouting drone being used. Kuni-chan down here is just trying to, not really lay a trap, but keep the opponent guessing where exactly Tyrell is positioned. Doesn't show himself to get Amhead just yet, but Gad is probably going to use an Oracle pretty soon when he has the cooldown. I'm going to go for that. Yeah, up to the top lane we have Antihero and Unstable going up against each other. It's really all about the momentum. Once that ESC builds up the momentum, they usually try to hold on to that for as long as they can, and that's where the creep spread really comes into play. Having the vision of both of those turning points is something that they really love to do. But the Russians are a very aggressive team. Arthas has been playing for several months now, and they are very, very aggressive with the way that they try to move on the map and control that. Their blood for blood strategy on level 16 is extremely strong, even though this time they only have 3 heroes that have access to the talent. But you can tell that this is not going to be an easy match for ESC at all. The rotations from the Russians are usually spot on. They rotate from lane to lane, always taking small advantages that they have. And also Snow is really struggling to get that creep spread up. We saw that in the last game already, where Turiel was always using his skills to push that back. Unstable getting away here. And this is just, so far, not really working for ESC as well as it did in the games that they played before. Of course, in particular, the game against the Spanish team Stigma that they defeated on this map with, I think they got like 1 kill against them or 2, and that was all that there was to it. I didn't even get... Yeah, they get one turn in, didn't they? But right now, both the teams, of course, just trying to accumulate those gems. I mean, we are just a few minutes in, 2 minutes to be precise, so there's nothing really to do just yet. But right now, it already sets the pace of the game, I want to say. Level 4 talents are going to be important. I guess we're going to see for Unstable once again the reduction on the cooldown on his barrel roll. We are having... the talent chosen, there it is. So, barrel roll cooldown reduction by 40%. Farsight used on Rhaegar. We're having the Beetle, again, Legion of Beetles on the side of an Uberak. And he has that attempt to just make sure that Sefka is not turning anything in here. Invidium is already in position for that. To the bottom lane, Kunichan and Andilendi are starting to pressure get a bit, but Snow is already jumping in. And his creep spread is getting better and better. Manticore chosen on Vala, trying to get that right-click damage in as far as you can. And yeah, the scouting drone, by the way, on the side of ESC, again, ESC Gaming, is playing this map. They love the map, and it is... I love that we see the game on this map. That is, for me personally, the biggest thing, because ESC has been dominating on this map for a long time right now. They've played great matches here, but I know that Arthas is also practicing on Tomb of the Spider Queen quite a bit, and it's just like this clash between two teams that are very familiar with the map, that they're very comfortable on it, and I want to see who in the end will prevail here, as the Zagara comp that ESC has been playing several games today already is just an extremely strong one. And here it is again, like you have the vision, you have the knowledge, and you try to use that. Sefka with a lightning shield on his Rhaegar, of course, can help quite a bit. But just look how ESC is always trying to make sure that nobody turns in here. Stalk is being interrupted. Again, Zagara is moving in. Double Smite talents being used on Tyrell in this case. Level 6 for both of the teams. Nobody wants to give an inch here. Gadamherd is moving back. Kunichan has like 13 of the gems, and they turn in 31. They turned in 31 just now. More than ESC so far. Anti-Hero has another 20 though, and Sefka is very well aware that he's trying to get rid of those. Oh, Anilendi! Oh, gets barely away. Wow, that was a close call. To the top lane, Anti-Hero is under some pressure. He played Chen against Sigma early on today. In the mid lane, we're still having, with Sefka using the healing ward that he has on level 1 here, the healing totem, which is even a bit better than the healing ward because, well, it has a lower cooldown. Trying to use that. We had a long time, by the way, in which there was apparently a bit of a hesitation on which talent to take on level 4 for Alnilendi's Jenna, and he decided to go for Envenom over the other talents. The blue Web Weavers descend first. It is again ESC Gaming with a faster push here. 7 hits at exactly the same time for both of the teams. And with that right now, we're having now Cleanse taken, Guitar Hero, Static Charge, Searing Attack, and Rapid Incubation. Interesting. Zagara going back to the old school build, not trying to go for that endless creep talent that we've seen on the last map, and that we've also seen the last time here on this map in particular when they played Zagara. On the other hand, we're having, of course, the Frostbitten talent on Jaina. We're seeing, again, Battle Momentum, Secret Weapon, Earth Shield, and Bed of Barbs on the side of Arthas. The Russian team trying to burst down those Web Weavers as fast as they can, doing a good job at the bot lane and also in the mid where they have Hardcam pushing in. At the top lane, on the other hand, they're not only losing one of the towers, they're losing the second one as well. So this one is going to die out, and the Web Weaver, of course, eliminated. But if you look at experience, still very similar. Not really a big lead for ESC, but of course with 2 towers down, they take a lead. I mean, there is a lead for them in experience. It's just nothing that really is going to make a big difference. Of course, right now they're having a bigger one, but once those creep waves are rushing in, yeah, it's going to equalize a bit more. But still, they have a slight lead. They're going to try and increase that over time. We'll also see Unstable moving to the bottom lane, where he is attempting to pick up all the extra experience with those waves. And the turn-in attempt up at the top with Kunichan going straight for it. He's interrupted once. Snow is there. Interrupt number 2. Anti-Hero pushed back. Nice Blizzard, doing a lot of damage there. And also, of course, securing the position for a second. Extra experience at the bottom lane currently for the Russian team. That's important to them right now. They're starting to close that gap in experience that ESC was able to gain. Yeah, Gadamherd is being forced to move back, and that allows Unstable to go for a turn-in right now. He gets the turn-in. There's no vision. So they get 10 more gems turned in. Very well done. Invidium is a bit too late with that. And up here to the top, Stalk is trying to get his own gems turned in. Is interrupted once again. It's just absolutely brilliant to see this play. It's really, really nice. This control that both of the teams are fighting over, and this is really what makes Heroes of the Storm just so special, what makes it just such a great game, and in my opinion superior to so many other MOBAs that are out there. that you have these objectives on the map where teams are trying to fight over them, the constant fighting that you have in the lanes, never really the time for any of the team to relax. They always have to keep tabs on what the opponent is doing, and this is one of the maps that showcases this really, really well. Level 10 hitting much, much faster here on the side of ESC Gaming with the Mosh Pit chosen. We have also more, and with more Mosh Pit and, well, in this case actually no Divine Storm, which would have been an option, but instead Rain of Vengeance. They're having everything ready for themselves once more. The turn-ins are there, and ESC Gaming is trying to get another Webweaver wave before the Russians are ready with their own. We are having again, there we go now, up at the bot lane. There we have now the move with the entire setup for Arthas rotating in. ETC wasn't there just yet. Sefka with the Ancestral Healing, Judgment being used on the side of Turiel. We're having for Jaina, of course, the Water Elemental, whereas, yeah, look at that. Unstable hasn't made a choice yet. Could we see them go, instead of the Hinterland Blast, for the Mighty Gust here? Could there be an option for them? Locust Swarm is being used, and we're having also still no talent for this bad boy. Unstable could potentially do that. We've seen them play that a couple of times. It's also a nice talent, of course, to get ETC out of the way when he sends that Mosh Pit in. And let's just be honest for a second, that Hinterland Blast didn't really do shit in the last game. I mean, he had like 1 or 2 decent ones, but he could have probably gotten a lot more utility out of a good Mighty Gust. And this map is a small one, so they have decent setups for it. Stork and Sefka fighting for the top point. Oh, and they go for it medium! And there's nobody to say... Wow, no way. No fucking way. Oh my god, Invidum is finally killed, but that was close. Mighty Gust is being used, and they're going for another kill attempt, but Jaina is already dead. Kuni-chan low drops. Wow, what a fight. They get the Red Web Weavers released. This is what Arthas at least was able to pull off. They're still behind in experience. 2 kills against 1. The Mighty Gust being used. Bottom lane is being pressured. This game already. Oh, wow. ESC is fighting for their tournament life. Losing this game would eliminate them. They would still come in second place, but of course you are here to win it all. They want to take this game. They want to take all or nothing up to the top lane. We're having ETC, the sole hero, to gain experience on the lane for Team ESC, and the Russians, they are moving in once again. They are trying to go for it. The mid lane we were already defeated. Down to the bot lane, the same picture. The tower is not even broken, and they are just trying to go for the setup. Yeah, how are they going to try and run with that? They currently have Unstable with another option for the Mighty Gust. The talent is back. At the top lane, Stork is trying to get some experience for the team. They're closing in on level 12, but still the lead for ESC Gaming. And they have 41 additional gems turned in. Oh, they go for Snow, but he is too far gone through the gate already. But they still drop a few of their points. The turn-in attempt from Stork doesn't get that done. The Blue Web Weavers are ready, and that's of course exactly what ESC was been trying to do the entire time. Getting the next wave in, making sure that they have the push ability, and they still have 55 of those gems. The only thing that you can do against that is win a team fight, and Arthas is going to be very hard pressure to do that since they're already behind in talent. They will be in just a second, since we have level 13 now on the board. Any second for Team ESC Gaming. The Germans are doing a very good job here. We're having in the mid wave all of them just trying to barrel down that lane, drop those towers, go straight for them. Stork is trying to delay them as long as he can, but there's already the Shrink Ray. Uber Rockstar is taken. Interestingly enough, also on, we have in this case Spell Shield taken. So, sorry for the scroll. Spell Shield taken on Zagara. Just realizing that there's so much pressure in this game right now that you need something to stay alive a bit longer, and I feel that's a very good choice that they went for here. Experience taken up at the top. Once again, we have the defense, and of course the Russians can't really attack into this. They can't engage. They need to wait for the 13 talent. There's no way for them to do any damage before they get that. And they know that too. But they need to win a fight. They need to win a fight, and they need to turn in the gems, and they need to do that very, very soon. Web Weavers are about to be defeated. The last ones are nearly gone, but the 13 versus 13 puts suddenly Arthas in a position where they can fight. But Andy Lendi has to be super careful where he positions himself. They are trying to go for it once more. The Web Weavers are gone. They can turn in again. And there's 73 gems against 62. If any of these teams is turning in all of the gems that they have, it is going to be another Web Weaver release. Sefka is trying to take down the Creep Tumors, and he does well. But up at the top lane, is there going to be another turn in? No, ESC is waiting for it. ESC is waiting for that. There's Kuni-chan. Get him here. Needs to be careful here. Has his shield up already. The Russians are set up for this. They are set up for this already. But they need to be careful. The Maw is always there. Maw isn't going to happen right now. There it is. A double Maw. They get 2 heroes. And there is nice Gust, making sure that Vala doesn't get her stun ult in. Vala, in this case, without the Rain of Vengeance, very well done by Unstable, using the Mighty Gust on False to make sure that ESC doesn't get the setup that they were working towards. The turn-in attempt by Stork, does he get that? That's 44 gems on him. He doesn't. They're still fighting over the tribute here. We have on the level 13, double Burning Rage taken. No turn-ins just yet. Oh, there's the Water Elemental trying to push them back. And the initiation, and Vidum gets bursted away. In Vidum is that Andilendi with the improved Ice Block, keeping himself alive. Get is low, trying to get away, but not like that. There is Unstable, and he takes him down. 2 of the heroes are suddenly gone. They make sure that all of those gems are not being picked up again, and they turn in, and they get the turn in. They get the Web Weavers. This is the Russians starting their comeback. The Red Web Weavers are going to descend very, very soon. They have nearly the same experience as ESC already, and these kills were just so important. Vala for a second out of position. Bam! There's the Judgment. Tyrael jumps in, they drop her, and let's keep in mind the level 16 is usually where the Russian team is going to get strongest. Arthas on 16 with a Blood for Bloods, that's what they aim for. That's what they aim for, and that's how they're going to try and take their opponents down. Down to the bottom lane, Siege Giants are going to push in together with the Web Weavers, and this is going to be a strong push. In the mid lane, we're having Stork. He's starting to rotate as ETC is trying to just keep this one at bay. But over here, this is going to be the one that really counts. And this fort, I don't think it stands a chance. Not with the Siege Giants behind it as well. They're moving in already, and that fort is just like dropping within seconds. Not standing a chance in the world. Down it goes, and that is all of a sudden nearly an experience lead for the opponents. Gerd needs to be careful here. Anti-hero moving in. Where is that dance? He's going for it, isn't he? No. And also the ult on Vala missing since Andilendi uses improved Ice Block. But still, Jaina could die. Jaina is still alive. Jaina still moving back here. She survives for now, but this fight is crazy, and ESC is trying to push back. They're doing very, very well here. We have 5 versus 5 still, but Stork is turning things around. And level 16 is going to hit any second for the Russian team, and if they get it, then it's going to be lights out for them. Suddenly, we have them moving in once more. Level 16, where is it? Any second now. Anti-hero dying down the tank, and Stork dies as well, but they get all of the gems, and they still try to keep ESC away. Now they have the triple Blood for Blood, and they're trying to use it. Andilendi still in position. 34 gems against 47 on the side of those 2 teams. And of course, now we have Arthas moving back and trying to go for the turn-in again. They can do that, and they have the 16 faster. But 16 is also ready for ESC. They have Benediction, Stoneskin. They're going straight for the double, for the second strike on the Storm. The turn-in, successful. They get it in. Mighty Gust being used before the stun can lock them down. And suddenly, oh, just like that, the Russians are back to business. They get their kills. We have 4 kills against 3 right now. But even a few additional gems on the side of ESC could put them into a position where they can finally get another Web Weaver set. And they only need 2 more. And that's what they're going to get right now. So can the Russians really deny the turn-in? Yes or no? They have to try. They have to try at least. Can they go for the team fight here? Sefkaji is starting to move back right now. He's trying to go for that. We're having the turn-in attempt again by ESC. Here's Anti-Hero. That's 2. That would be 2. Sef guys with the team. Their rogue abilities are all up except for Mighty Gust. No mosh pit. No danger of mosh pit being used against Team Arthas. They're trying to go in. They're trying to push them back. They're pushing them into the mid lane right now. And they're controlling the flow of the game, at least at this point, for a bit longer. But the levels are exactly the same. The experience is the same. The talents are the same. The well is down. Anti-Hero about to jump in. He has his mosh pit again. They go for Kuni-chan, but he jumps back. Kuni-chan jumps back in the last second. We could see another Mighty Gust being used. There comes the Blizzard already. ESC is going for another attempt to turn their coins in. Stork, does he have the stun? No, he takes down the healing ward. Kuni-chan is again in trouble. Here comes the heal. Sefkari with the last second heal, but Stork needs to move away. The triple more, and now the Mighty Gust can save them, and there it is in the last second, and down here Tacita dies. Very nice isolation of Tacita. Mighty Gus was an amazing choice. Usually at the beginning when the new ultimate came out, it was like watched as a bit of a troll ult, but right now it just prevents in every single fight ESC Gaming from getting their proper setup. They are trying to use more and then combine it with the Rain of Vengeance, and they just don't get that opportunity. They don't get it because that Mighty Gus is pushing them away every single time, saves everybody that is trapped in there. The red web weavers are descending once again as the Team Arthas players have been able to turn in these coins or these gems, and now with even levels still, there's going to be additional pressure on Team ESC Gaming. They haven't lost it yet. The Germans are playing a great game here, but still, this is an awesome match. I'm really loving it. The pressure that we have from both of the teams, the fights, nobody wants to give up. Everybody is just like fighting for every single inch in this game, and they're moving into the mid lane once again up to the top. Kuni-chan with a different angle. They are taking that forward. It's already out of ammunition. There's no doubt about that. To the top lane, there's another one that could die now as well. The red web weavers are moving in, level 18, a bit of a stat advantage now for the Russians. They're going in again, the Germans moving back at this point. ESC Gaming is trying to go for a setup that is going to enable them to take one of those fights, but they can't really. Down to the bot lane, Snow needs to make sure that this web weaver set is not going to pressure the keep too much, but that also means that he has to move back from the mid lane, where we see even more pressure, 5-man pressure from Team Arthas. They're taking down the towers, and to the top lane the fort has died. Suddenly they're close to level 19, and this is of course really bad news for ESC. Still, they're fighting on even talents. Kuni-chan moves back in the last second. There comes another good stun, but Kuni-chan is still not done with it just yet. He's waiting for an opportunity to jump in. Is he gonna go for the initiation with the judgment? Are they gonna have a setup here? Triple blood for blood. He's moving back. He's moving back for now. The web weaver to the top lane is still applying pressure to the keep, and this keep is not looking healthy. Not at all. But they're gonna save it, at least for now. 19 versus 18, the talents here. They're moving back again. They're moving back again, healing themselves, denying vision, taking down the walls everywhere. Only the walls at the bot lane are still available to them to at least grant a bit of vision there. But this additional level is everything. Of course, for ESC Gaming, one of the things that really works for them is that they only need 10 gems. 10 gems is all they need. They check the boss, want to make sure that Arthas is not going to take that. If they can turn in again, that would be big. If they lose another fight, Arthas is going to get 20 though. If they lose another fight, Arthas will be on 20, and that would be horrible. Unstable, as long as he doesn't get caught by a Maw, everything is fine for them. Here comes the fight again, no Maw yet. Divine Shield already used, they go forget, there's the Maw at the bot lane. Unstable could use the Mighty Gust, he doesn't yet, and they go for anti-hero. They drop the tank within seconds with their blood for bloods. Oh my god, and the improved ice block saving Andilendi from the second wave of the Rain of Vengeance, but they lose Tyrael. Tyrael is down, and it's 2 kills for 1. Well done by ESC, but the level 20 talent is nearly there. The web weavers are released though. That turn in again, these objectives, a beautiful play. A great game that we saw there, really well done here. And we have now down to the bottom lane, Andilendi just trying to get that camp. Of course, if you check the siege damage on the board, you can still find out if your opponent is doing something like that. You can also still see that position on the map. So it's something that ESC probably already knew, but look at these 20s. Double hardened shield. Ouch. In addition to that, Winter Mute talent taken. We have Nexus Frenzy and Storm Shield. But so far the tanks aren't back. The focus at the top lane for the Weavers, the first one is going to die before he does do anything. But then the tanks will be back, and this is where we are going to see the fight. The problem though for Arthas is that even though they have the talent so much faster, they won't be able to capitalize on it, because we're already seeing ESC heading towards the same level 20 talent. They should be able to fight on eye level with their opponent here. I don't really see, like, there it is. There's no chance in hell that that's not going to happen. Redemption being used on Uther. We're seeing Hardened Shield on the side of ETC with another Nexus Frenzy, this time for Vala. Twilight Archon and a Blink on Zagara. It's going to be really tricky to drop Arthas though. With the Storm Shield and the double Hardened Shield, dropping those tanks is not going to be easy. Not at all. I feel this is very dangerous. Very, very dangerous for ESC Gaming in particular. Web Weavers are dead again. There's just a bit of additional damage, of course, on the side of ESC, but I don't know if it's going to be enough, to be honest. I mean, you can always disengage with a Mighty Gust on the side of the Russian team, and they are trying to go for it. That level 20 is going to be so important. 38 gems. Andilendi and Unstable. Oh, they are not really together. There comes the stun against Stalk as well. They're trying to drop him. He moves away. No heals needed. Not just now. They're going for additional experience here. No keep fallen, by the way. Not a single keep is dead. Level 20 for both of them. 20 minutes into the game. 20 minutes into the game. 63,000 heal on Rhaegar. Rhaegar was with so much healing here compared to what we see on Uther. But the sustainability still. Here they go again. Oh, anti-hero! He's going for it! Stalk just barely surviving. Unstable turn in everything. The Maw not hitting anything. Worst Maw ever in this situation. Was a bit unlucky. Was a bit unlucky here on Snow. Didn't get a good Maw off. That Maw didn't really help them. Now the heroic ability is down. Ancestral healing, on the other hand, is also down, but only for another 40 seconds, where at least we're having twice that amount of time on the side of ESC to get another Maw into the game. The Maw so far haven't really done a whole lot, and that was, of course, especially the case because Unstable was using the Mighty Gust every single time that he needed to. Could use it again here. Oh, Stalk just barely able to get away. Once again, the Mighty Gust, and they're trying to chase. Winter Mute has been used. Yeah, but the Water Elemental is gone. 20 versus 21 in just a few seconds. Web Weavers are going to descend again, or are they? Nah, no turn in just yet. They don't have enough. 21 against 54. This game is beautiful. I'm loving it. Really great match between the two of them here now. And every single, like, a single fight can decide the game now. Right now, with the scaling, a single fight can decide the game. I mean, taking the boss, for example, is going to be great as well. Right now, we're having Sefka Unstable, Stalk, still looking for that opportunity. Heroic abilities, nearly all of them are back, yeah, except for that Maw talent. I mean, Mighty Gust with another 3 seconds, that's not going to be a problem. They go for anti-hero. Are they? No initiation from Tyrael. Oh, Tyrael. Stalk. Moving back. Can they drop a target? Can they drop someone? Anti-hero again being attacked here. More right-click on the side of... yeah. This guy. Falstad, the bird. Oh, what a game. What a game. Stuns everywhere. Damage in. Trying to poke. Trying to just like create a bit of space. And they create the space for Stalk to turn in. 39, but the turn in down here to the bot lane. If they get it and they get it, the Web Weavers are going to be there. Kuni-chan is moving back. Can they turn it? Can they fight right now? No. Mighty Gust already being used. Creating space. Moving them back. Now they have to face the music. And that is the Spider Queens being descended once again. Moving up to the top lane, trying to meet the first one right over here. This is starting to get tricky now for Arthas. ESC has the potential to drop a keep now. They have the potential to drop a keep, and maybe they're able to kill one of those heroes and carry the momentum to victory. That's what they're gonna aim for. 6 kills against 5. The damage, I mean, we can show those numbers again. We have in siege damage 150,000 tops on the side of Vala. Hero damage with 54,000, pretty damn good on especially Falstad. I mean, pretty impressive here. Yeah, soaking 3 lanes, trying to defend them. Up at the top, they have to be careful that they don't get initiated upon. And Maw could ruin their day. But the first Web Weaver set in the mid lane is nearly done. Down to the bottom, it's a different story though. They were able to take a few down, but they need to be careful. One good Maw can really kill everybody right now. Oh, unstable. Wow. He's really staying long, doesn't he? There's the keep, they lose the keep, and now they start to lose a bit of their momentum. Are they going to go for a kill? Are they going to try to initiate with Tyrael? They go for the triple blood for blood and focus somebody down. Uther, of course, is still a pain in the ass with that divine shield that he can use at any point in the game. But to the bot lane, we have even more pressure towards those keeps. This is just crazy. I mean, every, like, one fight, one mistake, just one wrong decision, and you are going to lose this match. ESC has taken the lead again. 83,000 heal on Rhaegar. Just saying, 83,000. It's getting crazy. Oh, really? They are going for boss. Oh my god. Balls to the wall. I don't think they can do that. That would be asking for trouble, and the Web Weavers are now being released for the Russian team again. They had enough gems, they used them, and now they have their own set of Web Weavers. And now ESC, it's ESC's time to make sure that they are not getting killed here. There's no way you can take the boss. There is no way, no way, no way, no way, no chance, 0 chance of that happening. They're moving back, and ESC, they are smelling blood in the water. They're starting to move in. Unstable! Oh, close. Close. Just barely getting away here by the barrel roll. Mid lane is pushed hard, by the way. Very hard. Hard camp. The Bruiser camp, together with the Queens. up to the top. Are they going to jump in? Is Kuni-chan going for it? Heroic abilities, they have all of them still up. All of them are still there. They're trying to drop Gerd in HP before the fight even starts. They're trying to go into that small gap here. Can they get the damage? Doesn't look like it, but they just rotate to the top. They're just saying like, alright, this keep is ours. This keep is ours. We're going to use that right now. There it is. Bam. It's down. Just dropping it. Oh, it was so low in HP already. Mid lane is being attacked. Stork is moving back once again. Antihero is trying to just like lock him down for a second, but he didn't get the chance. The Burrow Strike already used to make sure that he can escape here. This game is getting... Bot lane is still being pushed, guys. Bot lane is still being pushed. The tower is gone. Antihero. This is so intense right now. 22 versus 22, the bot lane with a bit of pressure, but not enough to drop another keep. They're moving into the mid lane right now, but what exactly can they really do here? Same levels. Exactly the same. Oh, Unstable needs to be careful. They're trying to steal the camp away, but they don't get it. They don't get the camp. Yeah, Antihero, he's always looking for that one move, for that one stun, that one just power slide with a face melt, or maybe the mosh pit to isolate somebody. That one move to win them the game, but they don't get it just yet. They're going for the turn-ins. Again, 38 against 21 gems. That's what we have right now. Again, the move in the middle, down to the bottom lane. We have... Oh, there, that might be exactly what they need, and they get the kill against Tyrael. Uh-oh, this could be it. Finally, Antihero gets that one power slide to victory. The bot lane, that's where we have the hard camps, or the Siege Giant camp start to move in. But ESC, they go straight for the boss. And I think the only thing that we can see from Arthas right now is an attempt to go straight into the middle and drop that keep. And maybe even pressure for it. They need to force them back. They cannot allow them to take boss, but it looks like they do. This is the attack towards the keep. They get the keep, but the boss will be caught. They're gonna get that boss. Here's Unstable. What is he doing? Oh, dude, you need to be careful. Oh, he interrupts them. He interrupts the TP. They're going for a core. The damage is there already. They're moving back. Stork, is he gonna get away? Is he gonna get away? Yes. For now, at least. Unstable flies back. ETC. Goodbye. And Nubarak is dead. The boss is still there. Yes, we have the keep down, 2 keeps against 1, but still, this is the time when ESC is going to try and end it. They have 50 seconds until Nubarak is back. But of course, the burst against the boss. Is the boss going to be bursted fast enough? They're trying, but here is the 5-man push. ESC, they can take it. Antihero, he jumps in. They're going for the core, and they're going to get it, aren't they? They are going to get that core. It's going to be a 3rd game. GG. This is game. Harrison Jones says hi, and we are going to see a 3rd game between ESC and Team Arthas.
Oh my god, what a game, what a match. I mean, we were expecting it to be close, but this was ridiculous. The control that we had from ESC, once again, they really showcased it here, but then this game just like drawing out, but going for such a long time. And it was all about these last few moments in the game, about these last few fights where you're trying to isolate a target, and then at the end, it is Antihero on his ETC that just gets a hold on a Nubarak. They take him down, turn it into a 5 versus 4, I think on level 22 already at that point in time, and then they just carry that momentum with a 5 versus 4 and take their game. An absolute incredible match, and with that, ESC, they just completely tie the series and they force the 3rd map out of their opponents. Garden of Terror is going to be the decisive map between ESC Gaming and Team Arthas here at the Open the Nexus Tournament. So let's jump into the map and try and find out who is going to win the tournament, who will come in the victor, who will be able to win this best of 3 and call himself the victor of the Open the Nexus Tournament here, and who will come in second.
Game number 3, everybody. We are on Garden of Terror, the last map of the day. Here's the final of the Open the Nexus tournament. And as you can see, we're having right now, to the left, ESC Gaming. In blue with Neps on Malfurion, Jaina played by Get Amherd, Antihero on Diablo, Snow on Zeratul, and Invido on Sylvanas. And this is an insane combo. We're going to talk about that in a second. Let's just introduce the Russian team to the right side first. It's Team Arthas with Anilendi on Falstad. We have Kunichan on Lost Vikings, Stalk on Anubarak, Unstable on Vala, and Sefkaja on Rega. This game is going to be pretty epic. We could see insane setups here, absolutely insane setups, and well, the reason is quite simple. If you look at the lineup that we're seeing for ESC Gaming, then of course it's pretty obvious what they're trying to go for, especially once that they hit level 10. The setup with the Void Prison on Zeratul. Afterwards, of course, Void Prison right into Apocalypse for the extra stun. Jaina barreling down with her blizzards while we see a Wailing Arrow providing silence from Sylvanas and then Entangling Roots from Malfurion. This setup is crazy. It is insane. If you hit that properly, you can burst the entire bubble. You can wipe every single hero that is in that, trapped in that thing, and this is going to be absolutely brutal, at least potentially. At the same time, though, we're having right now for the Russians Kunichan on his Lost Vikings, and he really loves that hero. He knows how to split them later on. At the beginning of the match, usually keep them together. That's like the current point. We're having Individuum up to the top lane, trying to apply the pressure as the mid lane is being attacked here. And there's Diablo already going for it. Oh, and they're going for Unstable, and goodbye Vala. But Get Amherd might die as well. Anilendi. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get the kill in. Get Amherd survives for now. And at the bottom lane, we're having Stalk versus Nepsa. So right now, this is going to be a pretty cool game. And I actually, personally, think that the setup that we are seeing for ESC is brutal. It is absolutely brutal. It's one of those one-more combo setups. If you pull that off, you are going to take down everybody that is caught in that first Void Prism. But of course, that's something that the Russian team is very well aware of, and they're trying to go for their combo with Blood for Blood, again, for their sniper comp. And they have a lot of mobility on Anilendi here, especially with his Falstad that's trying to move in already. Sefkaja needs some help here, catching those first few seats on the map here in Garden of Terror, and this is the last map, so everything is on the line here. You really want to win this now, and as you can see, level 4 talents are already coming into play, with the multi-shot build being used on Vala. Down to the bottom lane, we have Get Amherd and Nepsa trying to push Stalk back, and they're starting to really go, or trying to go for that first Garden Terror here. At least looking if they can go for that setup. We're having Regeneration Master and Gathering Power chosen. It's interesting to see how suddenly ESC started to deviate away from that Zagara combination. Also didn't ban out Diablo any longer, but banned instead Tyrael to negate one of the initiations that the Russian team was trying to use, and of course another Blood for Blood. And instead they went for that setup with Void Prism and Apocalypse on their own. Before, they banned every single time in this tournament Diablo to make sure that they didn't run into that Apocalypse comp. Right now, down to the bottom lane, we're currently having Nepsa still trying to soak experience against Stalk, but up here at the top, Snow. Yes, he needs to be careful. Just a quick cleave and moving away. The Russian team is getting at least those few seats. Over here, we're seeing Gad and Antihero doing exactly the same thing. Stalk is, he needs to... Oh, wow! Got stunned out. Oh, that was a last-second move by him. Delaying that for a bit, trying to move in again, stunning them out. Let's see if they can get a kill. That would be amazing for the Russians. If they can get a kill right now, getting ahead in the game would be so important, but it doesn't really look like they are able to do that. Level 6 versus level 6, not really a big difference here in the talents and the levels. I mean, level 7 isn't there yet, but we have that earlier plan. So it's not only about the mid and the late game where it looks like we are going to see the better setup for Team ESC, but in the early game already they get more seats, are able to steal a few, and find themselves suddenly in a position where they will control the first plant in the game. And the Vikings haven't really worked out just yet for the Russians. They need to make sure that they get that in a bit later. I really like, on the other hand, that we're having both of the camps currently being taken by Sefka, Unstable and Kunichan to make sure that they are in a position where they can then just de-push one of the lanes. The plant could rotate, of course, to the top and try to drop one of the pots over there. The bottom lane is also being pushed since one of the hard camps was taken by ESC just before the plant was activated. Level 7 for both of the teams right now, with Sylvanas going straight for the standard build once again. Actually, no deviation here on any of the heroes. Very much the standard builds for all of them. Oh, Unstable needs to be super careful here. He gets nearly dropped, and Anti-Hero might get that kill. Oh my god, they get him. That is amazing for ESC. That's an amazing start into the game, and a great position for the pot here. They're barreling through that lane up at the top. They don't have anybody soaking experience in the mid lane just yet, but Gerd Amherd is going to try and make sure that that's not going to be an issue. He moves in, soaks the mid lane experience. Both of the towers are already gone. The pressure is there, and Snow is rotating into the mid lane. Already dropping another polymorph seed here in a very good spot, delaying Sefka even longer, and they just rotate throughout the map right now. Good moves on the side of ESC. I really, really like how they're currently playing it. Trying to get the most out of the plant. They have another 15 seconds. Snow is not going to try and do anything like completely crazy, but that pressure that they have is already pretty damn good. A bit of a trap here for Gerd Amherd. They're waiting for Falster to move in apparently. Snow can always blink away. He shouldn't have a big problem getting out of this position. Oh, but on the other hand, we have Sefka. Maybe not quite so lucky. What? He gets away. Wow, close. I actually think with a bit of a better placement on the Blizzard, they would have been able to get more damage in and then he would die. But still, they are 9.5 level against 9, so they are ahead in experience. They have a really good position here now, and once level 10 hits, it's all about that setup with the Void Prism. And this is one of those things where ESC, especially in the last few games, really excelled getting those setups. Oh, they're going for stock. The root is there. Goodbye, stock. Oh! Just in time. Holy moly. I really thought Diablo would be able to rush in and stun him out of that, but nope. A bit too slow. But you can really see that the pressure is definitely on the Russian team this time. Sylvanas is moving up to the top, and here it comes. The setup with Void Prism. Void Prism, Apocalypse, the Water Elemental, Tranquility being used, and the Wailing Arrow. This is exactly what they've been waiting for that opportunity. But of course, level 10 is going to hit any second now also for the Russian team, and that means... Ooh, Eric is dead. Eric is dead, and... Oh, all of them are dead. Nice snipe, really well done. ESC suddenly, they are playing a beastly game. They lost the first game in the best of 3 series, and I mean this match that we've seen earlier today already on Tomb of the Spider Queen was insane. But with that, they bought themselves a chance to come into this one now. Oh, Malfurion, he gets zapped away. The healer not there anymore. And suddenly there's the fight. Apocalypse any second right now. But the web, no Apocalypse for them. Wow, that was damn good. That was amazing, but they still lose. They lose Sefka. They lose Sefka and they lose Vala. They lose 2 heroes. Yes, I really like that we're having Web Blast being used to negate that combo. Just making sure that they're webbing Diablo is all that they need to do once that the Void Prism is in position. Of course, that only works as long as Anubarak is not caught by the Void Prism. But I really like the idea behind it. The problem that they're still having with this is they lost 2 heroes regardless. 4.75 kills against 1. We're having the plant moving straight to the mid lane right now. But still that experience lead that we're having for ESC, and they are getting the seeds at the bot lane. They should actually be able to get all of those before Kuni-chan is in there and really applies the pressure. Yes, they get every single seed, and that's all that they needed. Okay, that was important. Eric killed again up to the top lane. We're having Snow taking down Belloc too. And yeah, that's exactly how they are trying to run this game. Zeratul is amazing to just like hunt these guys down one after another, and they are going for the fight to the top lane. Down at the bot lane, there's where we are having still Jaina dealing with the plant, but bam, there goes. Sefka might actually escape, but they already killed the Nubarak. Sefka... Okay, he escapes to safety in the last second. But they forced the plant back. Kuni-chan is now back. They're trying to body block him here too. And he's getting slammed into the ground. So, not really the best game so far for the Russian team. They're only a level behind, but you can really see who has been dictating the game so far. Who has been setting the pace. And it was definitely the German team here. Very efficient moves by them. I mean, of course efficient. I mean, they're German. Hell yeah. So at the same time, to the bot lane, we have Kuni-chan starting to go up against Snow. There's a level 13 talent that they really need. Up to the top lane, another Viking is there. What the hell is Anilendi doing? Oh my god, it's the bird suicide right there. The suicide bird is jumping in, but he somehow even survives, at least for now. But already Invidium is on the hunt, trying to go for it. Unstable is also very low, and he gets rooted into the ground and dies. 13 versus 13 now, but the talent was faster on the side of ESC, and they were able to capitalize on it with another kill here. They have Sprint, they have Relentless, the Wormhole, which is going to be great for especially Zeratul in this case right now. Snow is going to love that. Get Him Head needs to activate the Sprint to get away from their opponents. And we have, of course, the Evasive Fire on Sylvanas. On the other hand, when you're looking at the level 13 talents for the Russian team, it's again the Burning Rage, Frost Shot. We're having a Healing Surge on Rhaegar, which is going to make it pretty easy for him to get his healing numbers up again. Static Shield, a bit of a difference in the build on Falstad this time. Going for the Static Shield is something that we haven't seen in the matches before. He was always just trying to go for the additional damage challenge. In this case, not really happening. Once again, the attempt to take down one of the Vikings, and yeah, they're gonna get him. They're gonna get this bad boy. Level 14 versus 13, but that kill count is of course insane. I mean, 8 kills against 1, and we only saw one single fight with a Void Prism setup. They are going to try and go for that again. The bird, yeah, flies away to safety. Alright, so the bird is already down. That was the last second fly away that he had there. Without that, I mean, oh yeah, that would have been definitely a bit of chicken for dinner. But nope, the bird gets away, Andy Landy flying back. And I mean, this game isn't over. Yes, of course, the Germans are currently setting the pace of the match and are really starting to get a bit of a lead there. But still, we've seen crazy games between the two teams today. That we are in a third map alone is already completely blowing me away here. And how exactly are the Russians going to try and come back into this? On level 16, they're going to have 3 Blood for Bloods. That could definitely help them. This was their entire strategy in most of the games today so far. But they're just losing so many of these Vikings. And of course, that's only a bit of experience that you get there, but it adds up over time. Yeah, Anti-Hero is starting to move away there. They're trying to go for the setup. Kunichan very low on another one of his Vikings. Snow moves in, doesn't get the kill though. Again, the Void Prism setup. That is what we have to watch out for. Bot lane, by the way, being pushed by one of the Siege Giant camps. The other thing that you have to be careful about is, of course, that the next Knight is going to fall in only a few seconds. And with 2 more seeds, we're going to have the next plant dropping for ESC. And that's going to give them a lot of pressure here. The dream will, of course, be to go for 2 plants. If they get 2 of them, that will be amazing. But for that to happen, they need to not only take down all of the seeds at one of the lanes, but they need to steal a few away from the other lane. And I think that's going to be very tricky. Yeah, there's the 16 talent for them on the other hand, with the Tenacious Roots and 1 Blood for Blood. The double bombs alone are gonna be very difficult for the Russians to deal with. Kunichan, oh, there's the Web Blast, already webbing one of the heroes, and the Void Prism setup, but this time they get the stun. Jaina didn't get the damage in, but they get Void Prism into Apocalypse, and they drop an Uberak, and they're trying to go for Sefkaju, who escapes, but the bird doesn't, and some of the Lost Vikings are not dead as well. They are about to kill Sefka. Oh, the dog. No! Yes, the dog dies as well. A complete wipe. The only one who still survived is Eric. I have no idea why that makes me laugh, but Eric is the only one who's still there. He's like, "Wah!" Okay, this is pretty awesome. Eric is still there, gathering up experience. As to the top lane, the fort is dying. So, guys, this is amazing for Team ESC, but the Russian 12, nearly 13 kills against 1. And now we have level 16 just around the corner for the Russian team. Eric running away from Snow. We have Eric trying to escape here, and well, at least for now, is able to do that. The rest of his team is already back. There we have Belok and Olaf back to action, so they could try and join up with him again. And there they are, the Blood for Bloods for Team Arthas. Arthas with the Blood for Bloods, and that's the chance for them to come back into the game. But Eric, oh, Eric is dead. 1 minute of silence for Eric. Right, that's enough. So we're having another seeds taken to the bot lane, and I've been already telling you guys earlier that the dream would be to get all of them, but they won't be able to get 2 plants in a row. Well, actually, they have 2 plants in a row already. They're getting even more than that. Completely forgot that one of the plants was already in the game. So yeah, with that, we're having Antier and Vito on the map, so they're starting to move around here again to maybe rotate towards the mid lane, I would say, and drop another fort. But this is just like, currently the Russian team gets dominated, let's be honest. Right now they get dominated, they don't get any kills, their setups just don't work, and every single time they run into that Void Prism they are in trouble, and their cooldowns are ready again. And they don't even need it to take down the Beetle. They squish the Buck, they take him down, and it's a 5 versus 4 again, with them not even having to use the Void Prism setup. And if they do it now, then there's no chance for him to deny it with a Web Blast. He can't do anything. In the last game already, he just went for a Web Blast against Jaina. That didn't work, instead of just going straight for Diablo once again, which they did in the match before. Sorry, in the fight before. So this is, yeah, this is a little bit, I mean, 150 seats are still available. This is brutal. This is a slaughter right now. This is really a slaughter. This is ESC Gaming just suddenly unfolding their entire strength and showing the Russians who's boss. 19 against 16, and they are riding that momentum wave like the Silver Surfer. That's what they're currently doing here. I mean, this is getting completely out of control. This is getting out of hand. Kuni-chan is trying to bring them back into the XP range, but there's the next plant growing already. We're having all of the forts destroyed. Andy Landy is starting to push the lane against the siege giants. Down here we have Unstable putting, losing hit points to Snow. The next few camps are going to be taken, as we are going to see the plant taken any second right now. They're trying to go for the camps first. Get is already moving up to the top, and there he is, gets healed by Nepsa. They're not threatened at all. They're not afraid to just split up the entire setup and go for all the camps on the map, because they know that Arthas just can't hunt them down. They can't do anything. Level 17, nearly 18 versus 20 in about a few seconds when Individuum hits the last few creeps here. And that's it. That's level 20 right now. This has to be keep. If that's not a keep, then I don't know what's going on here. I mean, they're trying to go for it. Oh, there's the Web Blast. Web Blast already used and they attack it immediately. That ult is down, and that's trouble. Web Blast is gone, double blink, rewind on Zeratul, deafening arrow on the side of Sylvanas, and a Storm Shield on Malfurion. This has to be lights out. If they don't kill at least the keep, then I don't know what's going on in this game, and I think they might even go for the core here. With a 2-level advantage and them having Sylvanas to push the keep and then also the plant, I mean, how on God's green earth are you ever going to be able to save that one? I don't think it's even humanly possible to do that. They're going for it already, and the Russians are trying to do whatever they can. Here comes the last second healing against Sevka. Oh, nice drop against Adiro, but Apocalypse is being used and the stun is there. And they drop Stork. Stork is dead again. Oh, God. Oh, my God. There it is. The kill on the keep, and they are starting to take down Andilandia as well. Oh, the heal by Sevka, but he might have sacrificed himself right there. No, he didn't. They can't end the game. I don't think they can. I don't think they can end the... Oh, now they kill Rhaegar. Now they might be able to. There we go again with the Void Prison. They drop it. They drop it. This is it, guys. This is it. After falling behind 0-1 in the best of 3 series. Oh, well, wait. ESC Gaming, 30%. 30. They go for it. ESC Gaming, they end the match with a 2-1. They take it, win the tournament. The GG. Nice games being called here. Congratulations to ESC Gaming winning the Open the Nexus Tournament.
ESC Gaming victorious in the Open the Nexus Tournament. Their whole composition really designed around Zeratul with the Void Prism, then Apocalypse, and of course always that Jaina damage with Blizzard, Malfurion for the heals, but not only that, also the Entangling Root, and they just destroyed Arthas on this map. They controlled the entire match here on Garden of Terror, and it was really something to watch here, especially of course considering that they started into the best of 3 series being 1 map down after losing on Dragonshire against the Russian team. Now they win 2 maps in a row, and they are the victors. They take the tournament, they take the best of 3 series. Very impressive performance here by ESC Gaming against the Russian Team Arthas. Very well played today, and I hope that you guys enjoyed the match too, especially Tomb of the Spider Queen was of course an absolutely incredible game, but the dynamic throughout the entire series was pretty epic. I hope that you liked the games, guys. If you did, then make sure that you give the video a thumbs up on YouTube. If you have any questions about the compositions or what the players did here, then always just drop it in the comment section. And if you haven't subscribed yet to Khaldor TV, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Hope you guys had fun today. I'm going to see you soon with more Heroes of the Storm action here on the channel. Have a good one. Bye bye.